Hello everyone, it's Henry the computer guy. Actually today we are going to talk about mailings. So down here we are provided with a question. Let's click down here. We are provided with a question and they want us to use mail merging to send this letter to 4 different members. So we have their names, we have their addresses, we have their nature of contribution. Actually we are going to send this type of letter to these people. So they have given us their addresses and we are going to be sending this letter to those people using what we call mail merging. So we want to create, so what does mail merging help us to do? Specifically, mail merging helps us to send several letters. So we can create several letters to be sent to different people using what we call mail merging. So it's specifically that feature in a word processor that can help us to create several letters to be sent to different people. So now what we are going to do is to create a folder where we are going to be saving our work. So let's first minimize this. So we shall come and say new, then we create the folder. So we call it mailing. We have called it mailing. So that is specifically our folder we are going to be using. So we come back to our question. So now I'm also going to create another file where I'm going to send, or where I'm going to save the information, this information of the people that we are supposed to be sending the information to. So I'm going to cut it from our letter. So I just put it here such that everyone can see that these are the people we are going to send the letter. So I'm going to cut this one from our letter. I create another document, then I can save that letter into this such that we can be reviewing. So let's click on to file, then we come and save our file to, let's browse the desktop, of course. Then we created our mailings. So I'm going to call it addresses. We can call it people who are going to be receiving that letter. So we can close it, we have it there. Now this is the letter that we are supposed to be sending to the different people as we have seen in our table. What we are going to do, we come here onto our mailing. So there are many items here we are having, but we shall use them as we proceed. So we can create an envelope, we can create labels, we can create letters, many of them. So what we are going to do, we are going to use what we call a step-by-step mail merge. So what you do, come onto your start mail merge. When you come onto start mail merge, there are many items we can do from this item. So we have letters, we can make envelopes, we can get emails, labels and others. So what we are going to do, we are going to use what we call a step-by-step mail merge. So you click on it. So aside here, it brings a box. So it tells us that select the recipient. Okay, before, let's go back previously. So it will bring us to this point. Select starting document. Of course, this is the document that we are having, and it's the one that we are supposed to mail to the other people. So down here they are telling us, how do you want to set up your letter? Use the current document, start from a template, then start from an existing document. Now we are going to use the current because it's the one we are having at the moment. So it's the current document. Or you can select from a template. That means that they are going to provide us with some templates, then we modify them. But at the moment we have this this current document. Or if you had created your letter some time back, you can come down onto this and say select from existing document. Then they will give you an option of selecting or opening that file. But for our case now, we have the current document. So we come down here and say select recipient. Who is going to be getting that letter? Those are the recipients we are supposed to select. So we have options here again. Use an existing list. Now we can use that existing list when we already have it. So I can show you all the types we can use. For example, if you use this one, you're going to browse this list, then we come to our desktop, we come to our mailings, then we select this, it will be taken as our existing list. Remember, we have saved it into our folder as people, and those are the addresses that we have. But assuming that we are not having those people, those lists or that table into our work, so we can select from Outlook. For example, we have our contacts from the Outlook, let's say our emails and others, we can select them from here. Then we select or choose the folder where we have the contacts. Are we together? Or we can type a new list. For example, we don't have any list, so for our case, into this we have the existing list, but we are going to use what we call, or we are going to type a new list. So we come and say create. So for our case, we are going to use this one. Now we are going to provide us with a new address list. So it is having some fields up here, but we don't need them. Remember, when we come to our mailing folder, so we have the people, we have the addresses of those people, we have the name, we have the address, and the nature of contribution. I want us to pass through this because the other one you can just, it is very simple because you can just browse them. It is very simple when you have the list, but this is very somehow difficult because you are going to be given a task of writing the addresses and the fields into your information. I think we can use that one, because the other one you can just go on clicking, then you obtain the list because you already have it. So now when we come back here, this is the list of the people. So we have the fields up here, or the headings. We have name, address, and the nature of contribution. But when we come back to our document or our letter we are having, we come and say type a new list, create. When we look at this, it is giving us title, first name, so we don't have these. Are we together? So let me click onto this such that we can as well put it aside and we follow along. So we have our people. Let me first close this. I minimize our letter. So I'm going to minimize our letter. Are we seeing? We make it somehow. That is our letter, and we also get our address. We also minimize it aside such that these people can see what we are doing. So this is what we have. This is the list of the people we are supposed to send our letter. Are we together? So now when we come back here, they have been telling us that we are going to be typing a new list, and this is the list of the people we are having. So what we are saying that we are not going to use the existing, because this is specifically very simple. You just go on browsing. Let's go to mailings. Then you can choose this, then open it, will give you that information. But for our case now, we are going to type a new list. So we say create. So now when we look at our fields here, they are not matching with the information we are having into our question. We have name, address, and nature of contribution. Yet here we have title, first name, last name. There are many things we have here. So what we are going to do, we are going to modify or customize the columns we are having here. So we come down here to customize. So what we do, we delete all of them and include in the ones we want to use it in our question. So you click on delete, yes, it goes away. We are going to delete them. Click, delete them. Repeat the procedure till when you finish all of them. Repeat the procedure till when you finish deleting all those items. Now it is empty. We want to customize it to our own question. Remember, here we have name, address, and nature of contribution. So we are going to add those ones. So we have the name. We say okay. It just added it there. Then we come to another one. It is the address. It is the address. Then we come to another one, which is the nature of contribution. nature of contribution. I think those are the three items we are having. So after that we say, okay, so we have name, address, and the nature of contribution. We can enlarge this such that we can see it clearly. That is what we're having. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to include in these items we are having here. Are we together? So these are the items we are going to include in our table. So we can come and say, we have the names L, which is Lugaizi. Lugaizi. Then the next person is having P O box 14. Then Kamoli. That is one. Then what did that person give us? That person gave us 430. Then we need to add another row to include the second person. So what we do, we come to a new entry. Come down here. Then you look for that new entry, which is Mosime. Mosime Mori. Let's use capital. This was Lugaizi John. Then we come down here, PO box. Is PO box 92 Mbarara. Mbarara. Then nature of contribution, that is 500. Specifically that, we come to a new entry, which is Nsibambi. Nsibambi Elia. That person specifically, the PO box. PO box, which is 160 Buroba. That is the information. Then the nature of contribution. This is 20 kilograms of maize. Then we come to another new entry. Those are the few people. So we have N.A. Nakasolia. Have Nakasolia Juliet. And PO box for that person is PO box 1413 Kampala. Then that person gave us 40 bags of rice. So now I can leave this. I can maximize my document because we are done. So specifically, this is the information we are having. So we can click OK. They are going to tell us to save that list of addresses. So we are going to save it into our folder, which is mailings. Then we say, I will call that one a list. So now I can say, so this is the information now we are having as compared to our table that we had or they gave us. I can say, okay, so you can sort the information the way you want. You can filter out such that some people are not seen. You can find duplicates. You can find the recipient. You can also validate the addresses of the people. So now after that you click OK. Then let's maximize our document. We come back to our full document. So now we have got the existing, we have typed our new list. So now down here we say write our letter. When we come to write our letter, they're going to tell us that write your letter if you have not already done so. write your letter now. So if this document was specifically empty, we would now write our letter, assuming that we had nothing into here, our document. So we would now start writing our document. So now, remember, we had that address, we had the nature of contribution, and we had the name of that person. So now what we are going to do, we are going to add our fields from the list that we created into our letter. So let's begin with the address. I'm going to wrap this information. I add the address. So specifically, I can come to the address block. I can look for any type of address I want. I can use this. Remember, it can give us a name, or it can give us the name and the address. Oh, I can come and say it gives us only the address. Are we together? Specifically, that can work for us. And I say, I put it there. It adds the address block. Then I come to the name. I'll wrap this. I'll come and say, add. They say we have the address, we have the greeting line, then we have the electronic postage, we have more items. We can come to the more items, then we look for what we call the name. I insert it there. So I've inserted the name. Then I come to the nature of contribution. When I come to the nature of contribution, we wrap that. Then I come and say, more items, I add what we call the nature of contribution. What is it going to do? It is going to pick, sorry, I've added it twice. Let's remove one. So it is going to get the items from the table that we made. Let's say the nature of contribution. It will be inserting it into this location. It will insert the name into this location. It will insert the address into this location. So that is specifically what we have. We only had 3. Then down here we say we can preview our letters. So now it has got the information from our table. This is the PO box. This is the name of that person and the nature of contribution as per this. So we can go on and preview. This is the second person, it changes the information. This is the third person, it puts the information. This is the fourth person, it shows the information. Are we together? Now, if we had an option of, let's say we wanted to edit the recipient list, we can come here, then we edit the recipient list. We can add someone, then we can modify the list accordingly. Are we together? We can modify any type of information we want or we have in our list. Or we can exclude some of the recipients. Are we together? We can go, continue, complete the what? The merge. Are we together? Now we can complete, so when we come here, we can print all those letters for these people, or we can edit the individual letter. Now, when you come here, don't edit this letter which is here into our working area. You come to what we call edit individual letter. So when you come to edit individual letter, it will show us all the letters. You can come and say all the letters. It will display all the letters onto our information. Remember, we had only 1 letter, but we had 4 people. So it is going to duplicate all the letters into the 4 addresses that we are having. So you can come now and edit your individual letters accordingly. So don't go into the other item that we had previously and edit it. So you come and click on what we call edit individual letters. So now, this is specifically what we can do. We can now save our letters. Are we together? So we can go back and say desktop. We come and say mailings. Then we can say final. We can click and say save. And we can close this. But we remember we didn't save our document for the mailing. So I can also save it onto our folder, of course. I can say desktop, of course. I can come and say, so this is we can call it the mail, such that when we need to make some modification, we can go and use that one. So we can close this and go back to our folder and see whether we have all those letters. So we have the final, we have the one you used, then we have the list. So when we come to the final, when we have come to our final document, we can print these ones or send them as emails to our respective members. So specifically, this tutorial has been all about mail merging, specifically creating several letters to be sent to several letters. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Thank you.